crazy to see how far we have advanced in the medical field, in a pretty small amount of time as well. And it's a good thing that things have changed, because back in the day, doctors used to have some pretty questionable methods to cure their patients. From Icepick Lobotomies to poisonous treatments. Let's talk about this and more only in today's video. Starting off this countdown, we have healthy smoking. Now this one isn't as barbaric as the other ones on today's list, but it's still wild to think about. So from the 1930s to the 1950s, smoking was said to be healthy and was actually encouraged by doctors. Basically, tobacco companies hired throat doctors to say that cigarettes weren't harmful, and that lack of menthol was to blame for illnesses, not cigarettes. In fact, they had campaigns in magazines and newspapers to encourage people to smoke, like advertisements with a penguin that said, "Dr. Penguin says menthol is good for you." So people were tricked into thinking that cigarettes soothed their throats instead of damaging them. In our 9th spot today, we have the Icepick Lobotomy. Back in the day, mental health issues were cured in the most gruesome way imaginable. It started in 1945 when an American surgeon, Walter Freeman, decided to drive an ice pick through the thin bone of a patient's eye socket. And then he wiggled it around so it caused damage to the patient's prefrontal lobes. Except it resulted in the patients being left in a vegetative state, or it killed them completely. Moving on to number 8, we have the Mercury Treatment. So nowadays we know how toxic and lethal mercury can be, but back in the day it was used as a treatment. Children were given it as a dewormer. It was used as a diuretic, disinfectant, and laxative. In fact, it was used as a topical ointment to help treat minor cuts and scratches. And once it was used to treat syphilis. And if people died, they thought it was because of the disease and not from the effects of mercury. A number of people died from mercury poisoning after being exposed to high concentrations of it for a prolonged period of time. In our 7th spot today, we have lithotomy. Lithotomy was a procedure used to remove bladder stones. For this procedure, the patient would lay on their back with their feet apart while a blade was passed into the bladder through the downstairs area. And then the surgeons would insert their finger or another tool up their rectum or their urethra to further help remove the stones. Now this procedure was incredibly painful and deadly. About 50% of patients ended up dying. By the 20th century, people were promoting healthier diets to help prevent bladder stones. In our 6th spot, we have the removal of teeth. Back in the day, people had healthy teeth removed thinking that it would prolong their life. In the mid-1800s, the young would pass away at 6 months to 2 years of age. That was around the time that they would receive their first teeth, so doctors attributed their death to their teeth coming in. So they thought that by removing them, they would live longer. Doctors also wanted to prevent teething. So doctors would do this by placing leeches on their gums or by blistering their gums. Some even had their gums lanced. In fact, even by 1938, some people were still lancing the gums of teething children. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with urine. Nowadays, if we want pearly white teeth, all we gotta do is brush our teeth or go to the dentist or use whitening toothpaste or strips, or all of the above, honestly. But back in the day, during Roman times, the Romans used urine to whiten their teeth. Now, I don't know who discovered this, okay? That's concerning though. Like, they peed and then they were like, this would make a good mouthwash. I think not. But apparently the ammonia in the pee helped clean tooth stains, but probably did not help with bad breath. In fact, it became so popular that people were collecting urine from urinals. Yes, so they were also using other people's pee. Literally makes me sick to my stomach just thinking about it, okay? No thank you. Also glad that that's not a thing anymore. Thank you, Crest and Colgate. Coming in at number 4, we have the hot irons. You know, sometimes when you gotta go, you gotta go. And sometimes when you go, it's not as easy as you'd like it to be. So you strain and then pop. You got yourself a hemorrhoid. Nowadays, there's a number of things that you can do to prevent this or to get rid of these bad boys. But back in the day, they didn't know how, so they used a very very painful way to cure them, and that was burning them off with a hot iron. No thank you, okay? Those hot tools do not belong near your private parts, no. In our third spot, we have the arsenic treatment. Again, we all know arsenic is literally poisonous and will kill you, but back in the day, believe it or not, arsenic was used to treat fevers, headaches, syphilis, skin ulcers, and blood diseases, among other things. But hello, exposure to high enough amounts of arsenic can be fatal. Exposure to lower levels of arsenic over longer periods of time can cause skin problems, liver and kidney damage, and shortage of red and white blood cells, which then puts you at risk for becoming more susceptible to infections. So I don't know how much this was actually really helping people. In our second spot, we have removing organs. A man named Dr. Henry Andrews Cotton believed that mental health problems were caused by infections within the body. So if your body was sick, your mind was also going to be sick. So he thought that by removing organs, it could remove any mental health problems. As a result, he would have patients' teeth, tonsils, gallbladders, stomachs, spleens, testicles, or colons removed, and figured that this would cure them, which, as you probably guessed, never cured them. Instead, he lied, saying that he was a miracle worker to attract more patients. And in our number one spot today, we have rhinoplasty, aka a nose job. And it seems like more and more people are getting it done these days. But nowadays, the procedure is fairly precise, and it won't make your nose fall off, because that's what happened back in the day. So in the 16th century Italy, syphilis became a huge problem. It was thought to have been brought in by sailors, and a number of people suffered as a result. One of the nasty effects this disease had was something known as saddle nose, where basically the bridge of someone's nose literally collapses. Now if you saw people with that nose, you knew that they had syphilis, so there was a lot of stigma behind it. So many people got surgery to try and hide the fact that they had it. That's where Gaspar Tagliacozzi came in. He was an Italian surgeon that came up with a way to fix deformed noses. He would create a new nose using tissue from the patient's arm. But it wasn't that good. Patients' noses would turn purple in the colder months, and some literally fell off. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. If you want to see part 2, then you gotta let me know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, let's move on to our comment shoutout portion. I'll be shouting out comments from the video, top 10 terrifying sea creatures found in the Bermuda Triangle part 2. Pastel Rainbow commented, don't think it's octopi, I think it's octopuses. They're gonna come for me. They're gonna come for you now that you said that. Long ago, I googled it and I'm like, what's the plural of octopus? And it said octopi or octopuses. So in the video, I said octopuses, and literally all the comments were, it's octopi, you're stupid, blah blah blah. I'm like, Google lied to me then. Google lied to me. So now I just say the octopus to be safe. Don't come for me, okay? It was Google. Angel Desmoulin, or Mulan, Desmoulin, commented, hi Lindsay, me and my boyfriend, I think they want a shout out. You and your boyfriend want a shout out for the next video. Leonard and Angel, we watch you. Hi Leonard and Angel. Love the name Angel. That's incredible. Shout out to you. Hopefully you're watching this video and you caught the comment shout out. So thank you. And Andrew Joseph Hasty commented, hey, where's your shirt? Now the amount of comments that I got like this too. I was wearing overalls and I had a black bandeau underneath. The guys are probably like, what's a bandeau? I had a black strapless tank top underneath the overalls and everyone thought I was naked underneath. I'm like, no, you could clearly tell I had something underneath, but all the comments were literally, she's naked, where's your shirt? Like, anyways, sorry. Alright guys, that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see ya. Bye. So nowadays we know how toxic and through the thin bone. Oh god, Canadian is coming out of me. Okay. Subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. And don't forget to subscribe.